So I've tried writing out scripts for this filter project, and I have a script written for this oscillator that I have yet to record. And I think it may just be privy of me to just play along with the filter and narrate as I go. So let's do this. Oh, sorry if I accidentally turn off reactor. I forget that when reactor is off, you can't hear me talking like this. When this guy up here is red, I am being stupid and I don't realize it yet. So sorry if that happens. That mutes my microphone when I do that. So let's get a listen to the clean oscillator. Okay, I'm turning off all of the high passing. I'm the key-tracked high pass, the key-tracked saturator level, and the static pre-high pass. Oh, you can't hear me when I move over here, can you? That's kind of sucky. How can I fix that? I will try and get right here in front of the microphone and not clip. Clip. Okay, good. Okay, before I start getting to the resonance, perhaps I should give a quick explainer of what a pre-high pass does. So I'm doing subtractive synthesis right now. I am using filters to... I'm now passing those lows and attenuating the highs. I'm now passing the highs. No highs, highs, no highs, highs. Less lows, more lows. So when you are using a limiter and you are high passing a signal, keep in mind you're not going to be attenuating the lowest frequencies completely. They're actually going to be like 95% there. What a high pass plus a limiter does is it adjusts the tilt of your spectrum. So by slightly attenuating the loudest harmonics, the lowest ones, you are reducing the difference in volume between your loudest harmonics and the rest of your harmonic spectrum. So by attenuating those lowest order harmonics, you are essentially, plus the limiter. The limiter is the important part. By high passing those loudest low harmonics out, you are bringing the rest of the spectrum up. So that's a lot more flat than that. Anyways, the poor example, poor visualization, but just trust me on it. Okay, so I key track my saturator level and my high pass. That is because I will get back to why, but just need to keep in mind those are key tracked. For the saturator level, somewhere between like 0.5 and 3.5 is good. For the key tracked high pass, somewhere from like 50 to up to 1,000, but you can definitely tell when it's too much when the static high pass knob doesn't do anything. Okay, I'm gonna bring in some resonance. So sorry if that's kind of bright and shrill sounding. Keep in mind that this is me just playing this instrument on its own. It is, if it was used in a musical context, it would be getting equalized so that it would sit properly with the other sounds being played, you know, the drums, the harmony synths, whatever else. So it may sound kind of sharp and shrill right now, but this is without me equalizing it for the song. What makes any sound good in a song has less to do with the sound itself and a lot more to do with everything else playing. The context of everything else is what defines what you want a sound to sound like. So sorry if you can't hear me while I'm playing notes as well. I wonder how bad that clips. Wow. Okay, so a quick little explanation of what nonlinear filters do. They use saturators to limit the resonance. So unlike a linear filter, when you crank the resonance way up, the resonance will start dominating the sound and it sounds like shit. Kind of sounds like this. No one wants that. So that is a linear filter. A nonlinear filter lets me use saturation and other control mechanisms to control the resonance. So I'm just going to turn one knob here, my saturator level, and you will hear the resonance go from, you know, loud and over dominating to in control to, you know, being pretty readily squashed. That one knob does so much. So, what goes hand in hand with your saturator level is your input gain. These do not do the same things. If you raise your saturator level and turn up your input gain, that is not the same as having your input gain 3 decibels lower and your saturator 3 decibels lower. There are linear segments of this filter structure, and the nonlinear segments respond to the presence of pre-gain. So it's not the same if you just turn both the knobs to the right or both the knobs to the left. That was me adjusting just the pre-gain and the saturator level and moving both the knobs from low to both the knobs in their high position, and it continuously changes. So this is a very dynamic structure. It has lots of moving parts. So anyways, why don't I get along to actually doing something interesting? So let's see, I am in a NLB to NLA configuration. That means I have two nested nonlinearities nested within the one poles. So I'm in a pre plus post non-nested saturator situation. Let's adjust the gain staging to optimize the ladder nonlinear stages so that each saturator is doing, you know, its fair share of the work, so that you know, not all the work is being done by the first one. If you don't like what you get the first time, just try again. Okay, so I've now adjusted the gain staging. So this filter has a remappable resonance loop. Normally, the resonance path goes from the high pass output of the second one-pole stage. A two-pole consists of two one-pole filters in series, plus a feedback loop around the two. So normally resonance is picked up off of the high pass output of your second one pole. If you want to tap the low pass output of that second one pole, it will give you an unstable filter that just gives you a click and then gives you errors and, you know, destroys everything functioning downstream. Anyways, to stabilize this filter, I've added all pass filters which phase shift the feedback loop so that it is not unstable, so it works. So I'm just going to flip through my different options of, you know, remapped resonance paths. This is the normal resonance path for a stock two-pole transposed Sallen key. That's picked up off of the high pass output of the second one pole within the structure. Let's take that that low pass output of the second one pole. Oh yeah, and you also have to invert it before you send it through the two all passes, whatever. Okay, so the inverted LP2 AP2 output resonance path, which is my personal favorite, it handles the resonance in a completely different way. Normally the BP2 output, or the second high pass, or the second one pole's high pass output, gives a kind of constantly saturated sound that I don't like. This gives a much cleaner resonance. It just sounds more spectrally finite to me compared to that sounds like distorted to me. That buzz, I don't really like that buzz. Notice how the high frequencies just kind of kiss your ear just so much more smoothly with this one. I'll switch back to the other one to compare. that saturated sound. So that the onset of the resonance in that high range is a lot more, it's a lot more violent than Okay, now what else? I just forgot what I was gonna do. Fuck. Yep, I completely forgot what I was about to do next. So, I've found that I added this input clipping function so long ago, and I never really like gave it much chance to sound good, and I've been messing with it lately, and it actually sounds pretty freaking impressive. Oh, I remember what I was going to do now. So, a feature that really shouldn't be overlooked. So this is an issue that anyone doing a lot of resonant filtering will run into eventually. Gosh, this filter really isn't very good at getting... There it goes. So I have my pitch cut down at a super low cutoff. It's like, I think it stops at my fundamental. And when your pitch cut, when your resonant peak is like within an octave of your fundamental, it's going to start fighting with the intelligibility of the note that you're playing. Or it will sit on your fundamental. I'll turn down my resonance. You see that extra little bit of fundamental gain? That's actually undesirable. So don't get confused by the name. I'm going to call it resonance low shelving. It implements a high pass in your feedback loop, preventing low frequencies from propagating through the resonance loop, specifically, your fundamental and a little bit above that. So I'm going to, currently I have it off, I'm going to apply just the slightest little bit of resonance low shelving. And you'll instantly notice that my fundamental response stops showing that extra frequency gain from the resonance. And if you watch, the resonant peak, it actually is going to start from like right here. And it just disappears. I'll now remove the resonance low shelving, and you'll see it will go all the way down to my fundamental. Yeah, don't like that. Love that. So here's what it will sound like without the resonance low shelving. Now I will reapply the resonance low shelving. high passing out those low frequencies from propagating through the feedback loop, and my resonance is instantly under control again. Not under control, under control, not under control, under control. Notice that I'm playing the same note, just an octave apart. Hear how it's resonant on the low note, but not on the high note? This is exactly why I key track my saturator level and my high pass, pre-high pass. Now I can play it across the keyboard and the resonance response is even. Sorry for just playing random notes. I don't have a sequencer pulled up right now. Anyways, that is why I key track the saturator level and the pre-high pass, because short intervals like a major third can produce a noticeable change in the resonance response from just like C to E. Well, I was doing an octave, so C to C. We want that even resonance or closer to even. I have the key tracked values so that if I press the encoders, it just turns them straight off or turns them right back on, so I can quickly A-B the non-key tracks, key tracks. Yeah, no resonance up here. We can start to hear it at A. At E, it's very clear. In C, it's a little too much. By the E above that, it's just completely gone. So that's without the key tracking. This is with the key tracking. I need to turn up one of these. That's so much nicer. Oh my gosh. Okay, this probably wasn't informative, but I feel like I explored some of these features, and hopefully this isn't 23 minutes of shit. Thanks for listening. This has been another entry in my audio journal.